I'm gonna go on my phone and just make sure that.
Yeah.
Let's make sure it's working.
I'm gonna check YouTube.
Does it look good?
Yes.
Looks
there's
good?
a few second delay, but it's there.
Okay, we're there.
Nice job, Nancy, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we'll call the January 14th Board of Ed regular meeting at 7 PM today to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance. Thank you, everyone. We'll start with roll call.
Tori Lavetri.
Jonathan Morhart?
Sandra Strubar.
Nora Makarski.
Renee Waldron.
Kurt Werner.
Okay, item 2, approval of the agenda. Do we have any items to add to the agenda? Okay, seeing none. Item 3, student showcase. I think it's wonderful to see the students here and persons here and families. It takes a village. Appreciate persons being here to share and showcase their schools. And so, Julie?
Super. Tonight, we have some Hinsdale students who are going to share their holiday floats. Ms. St. Hilaire, do you want to preview for us what we're going to see and invite our students up?
Come on up, you can grab your floats. Skylar, you just take one. So our second grade students, over, just before the break, there was a huge parade going down the second grade hallway. And I stopped to enjoy it, and our friends here were telling me they created a Winchester float parade. So as you're going to see in a moment, they will come around and parade, they've been practicing, to parade in front of you so you can see their great work. And they might even tell you some of their favorite parts of creating and what they've learned. So, boys, your floats are right over there on the chairs, go ahead and grab them. And Owen, why don't you lead us off in our parade over here?
A Winchester float. Very nice, Owen.
Follow Owen.
Looks great, Owen.
Okay. The Winchester Float Parade.
Let's see, guys.
That's cool.
Oh, I like it.
Why don't you stand right
So nice.
questions?
That's a wonderful parade. That's fantastic.
Guys, are you all in second grade?
Yes. Yes.
Wow. So what inspired each of your floats?
That like how that like I inspired myself with like the outdoors when it's like snowing outside. So I had an idea of making a float that has pom-poms for fake snow, and I have all these like trees that have fake snow on them, and I have
That's
Thank you
fantastic.
so much.
Nice job.
I like the snow, but you can see these are fell down because I didn't glue them on all the way.
Well,
That's
that's-
okay. It's been a little while, too.
That's great. What is on top of the snow?
Trees and people.
And a dog.
That's
What
great.
inspired me was that every single thing that I got, I actually use it for to use if you can see on the back, I use a little bell right here, and I use I bought this and I use this to put it right on the back, and then I put lights here and then lights over here. And then on the front, it looks like a star, so then it looks like a star with snow around it.
So festive.
That looks fantastic.
Great job.
Sounds like these were hard work, but fun hard work.
That's right. Very good.
Thank you, guys.
Fantastic to represent second grade.
That's it for student showcase, and then we have our reports when we get down to student representatives.
Got you. Okay, very good. Thank you, everyone. Okay, item 4 of the agenda, it's public comment. Okay. We have a policy 1120 that speaks about public comment, public participation. We welcome you to our business meeting tonight. There are 2 opportunities set aside tonight for public comment. We welcome and encourage public participation and is a valued part of communicating with input with the Winchester Board of Education. We appreciate your adherence to the following. Complete the requested information on the sign-on sheet. If you wish to speak, your name, your address, and your email. State your name and address when called on to speak, and you'll be allotted 3 minutes to speak, to share your comments. Please be advised that it's not the policy of the Board of Education to engage in dialogue regarding commentary. The superintendent of schools will be directed by the chairperson to prepare an appropriate response in a timely manner. We appreciate your thoughtful commentary. Does anyone wish to speak? Does anyone wish to speak? Does anyone wish to speak? Okay, seeing none, moving on. Item 5, approval of the minutes. We have minutes of the Board of Ed meeting, regular meeting from December 10th. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
May? Thank you.
I'll second.
Jonathan, any comments, any additions, changes? Okay, seeing none, all in favor of approval? Okay, unanimous, 6-0, thank you. Minutes of committee meetings from December 17th. Curriculum committee meeting minutes, do I have a motion to approve?
Make a motion.
Thank you, Tori. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Kurt. Any comments about edits? Okay. Motion to approve. All in favor? Unanimous. Budget Finance Committee meeting minutes. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
Thank
Renee.
you. Thank you, Renee. Second?
I'll second.
Jonathan? Any edits? Okay. All in favor? Thank you, 6-0. Policy committee minutes. Take a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
Thank-
Renee.
Thank you, Renee. Second? Tori? Any edits? All in favor? Okay, 6-0. Finally, the ad hoc school security meeting minutes. A motion to approve.
Make the motion.
Jonathan, second? Tori, all in favor? Okay, that's 6-0. Thank you, everyone. Okay. Item 6 on the agenda, communication. Chairperson's comments. I appreciate everyone here. It is really a great opportunity to see new faces, and you can see our faces, so you can learn about the process of actually running and working with the Board of Ed. We do encourage persons to participate, run for office, because we are our government. If persons don't participate at the local level, especially in New England, we have no government. So that's part of it. One of the things I want the community to know is that we're moving into a budgetary season. There's going to be a lot of work this coming month into February, budget workshop. And so I'm taking this opportunity, part of the agenda is to recruit you as parents. We don't want to wait till the last minute. We don't want to wait till iterations of budgetary processes that brings us into the late summer. We'd like to see you out supporting the budget. We're presenting to you tonight parts and bits and pieces of it that are focused on security. We, as a board, take seriously student safety, student security, feeling secure in the home, secure in the school system. We take very seriously our climate. We take very seriously our student learning. So with that in mind, part and parcel, you're going to hear a little bit about the things that we're putting into place. We have an ad hoc security committee that has met a few times to talk about the direction we should be taken as a district with regards to security inside the building, additional personnel, perhaps. We also have a vice principal that has been reinstated as a way to enable staff to handle the issues that we've got, student needs and so forth. So we've got 2 people in the building at Pearson that helps us out to run our systems to help our kids. We're looking at the physical plant. You're going to hear about tonight a report, though we're going to go into an executive session about building security. You're going to hear about our ways in which we're going to continue to secure our buildings, and I think that's part and parcel to that drives the budget. We also have been conducting a climate survey and asked our parents to contribute to that survey, and Dr. Luby will speak to it. But all in all, it's bits and pieces and parts to a drive for the budget, which has its emphasis and focus on securing our buildings, securing our educational settings, to make sure that our kids are learning at the maximum level. So I'm encouraging you all to go out tonight and get a hold of neighbors and family members that live here in Winstead to help us out in this endeavor to secure our school systems and making our kids continue to learn and continue to feel safe. So please recruit persons and go out to vote when time comes. Okay. Item B, student representative reports.
So first tonight from Hinsdale School, we have Skylar. Skylar, if you want to come up. You're going to talk into the microphone, nice up and close. Skylar, I don't know if you can see from that side, but there's a nameplate right where you're sitting with your name on it, introducing you. And when you're finished, you can take that with you if you'd like. Ms. St. Hilaire, you are welcome to sit in the second seat right next to Skylar.
We've been practicing, and boy, has she learned a lot about public speaking. And I have to tell you today, when we talked, I said, so what are you most proud of? Remember what you told me? You said that I'm going to do this. So, I got you, okay?
Hello, my name is Skylar, and I'm in 2nd grade. I'm going to tell you what has been happening at Hinsdale School lately, school activities and events. We enjoyed a holiday concert at Gilbert, and a fun PJ Day and a movie before the holidays. Academic highlights, something neat that students have been learning. In math, pre-K students are learning how to count from 1 to 5. Kindergarten students have been learning how food goes from farm to table. First graders are learning if they can see in the dark. Second graders learned about Greek myths. My favorite is Icarus. School improvements or needs. I would like to have pets to school day. I would bring both my cats and my dog. One great thing. All my friends are really great and I really love school. Thank you for inviting me to speak.
That's very nice. Well done, Skylar. Right.
Skylar, I'm so happy that you really love school. That makes me very happy. And you did a wonderful job.
Thank you.
I wouldn't
yeah.
mind pets to school day either. That's fantastic.
Skylar, do you want to take your nameplate?
Right. It's great to hear from you.
Just slide it right out of the,
And thank you, family members, for being here and helping out Skylar to prepare her for today's presentation. Really appreciate it. It's nice to
Thank
meet
you.
you. Thank you for coming out.
thank you for being here. And from Pearson School, for our upper school update, we have Malia. Hi, Malia, how are you?
I'm good. So, I'm Malia Bordenaro, and I'm in 6th grade, and I'm just going to be telling you a bit about what's been happening at Pearson School and some ideas I have for the future. Okay.
Lean right into that microphone, okay?
Right after our winter break started, Pearson and Hinsdale both went to the Gilbert concert, and I loved how they played super nicely together, and it reminded us of our 6th grade band. And we're working on some of our songs for our end of year concert really hard. And we're having a few points where it's not our best and we're having a little bit of trouble, but we've got a great teacher, so I think we can get through it in time. And we're also learning about weather and science and different types of weather it caused in 6th grade science. And we've just started our unit, so we're just investigating hail and how it forms and different features about it. Math, we're reviewing long division and other things we've done in past units because we also just started. But our main unit is about measurements, weight, length, and volume. And reading and writing, we just did our final essays for the chocolate collection and Amplify. And we've been working on it for a pretty long time, about a week. So we did a ton of work, and I think we did a really good job, and we got to help each other too through it. And some of the good things that have been happening at Pearson is I-Ready testing has been improved a lot from fall scores. The spelling bee is going to be all grades, only students that choose to do it, so we have a choice this year. And it's going to be classroom competitions, whole school, and then the winner's gonna go to regional. We're also, for champs, we have drama club. It's gonna be the Matilda play, and it's gonna be in the springtime. Ski club is on Mondays, and we have fitness testing coming up in PE. I think it's a push-up test next. And we're thinking about starting a yearbook club for some of the 6th graders in Miss Monica's office, one of our school's social workers. And we're also going to be having a magic show at Pearson the last day of January. I think it's one of the fundraisers we have planned. And some ideas that we have that we'd like to see at Pearson is we really want to bring drones back because honestly, being in drones, it's helped teach me more about how the real world works. It's helped me with problem-solving skills, working together. It's a really exciting experience and just great overall. And we also had some fundraiser ideas we'd like to share with you. We were thinking about maybe a movie night because I know tons of kids enjoyed that when we've had that in the past. We were thinking about game days, raffles, and a snack cart at lunch or something for kids to get snacks at. And that will be all. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much.
Lots of things happening there at school, isn't it, Malia? It's fantastic.
Malia, you did such a nice job just talking to us. I'm so impressed.
Eye contact was great.
Do you want to grab your nameplate? You're welcome to keep that.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks for coming out tonight. Okay, item C, superintendent's report.
Okay. Get my bearings. Let's see. I'll highlight for you some of the elements of the report that was in your packet. I'm very pleased to let you know that our parent conferences were really well attended. The vast majority of parents, 95% at Hinsdale and 92% at Pearson, were represented at parent conferences. That's astounding, and makes it worth the time that we take having early dismissals. If we can get that many parents in the door, that's time incredibly well spent in terms of connection and partnering with families. Since we last met, we resent the climate survey to parents so that there was a second opportunity for people to respond if they hadn't seen it the first time, and we also published it in Spanish as well as English. So in combination, we have 139 responses from our parents, which in terms of sort of marketing statistics is actually a really good response rate. And we're in the process of beginning to analyze the parent responses to the survey and using that to generate topics for parent focus groups. Simultaneously, we're working on developing the staff survey and hope to have that out probably within about a week. And then following that will be the student survey. And so with all three groups, we'll do the survey, the focus groups, and then we'll be doing some focused observations with a protocol. As Malia shared, we are in the process of completing our mid-year iReady testing. So at our next probably curriculum committee, I'll be able to give you some mid-year updates on how the kids are doing academically in reading and math. We did resubmit to the state our professional development and evaluation plan that was originally submitted probably at the end of the summer, and we've made the revisions requested by the state and resubmitted. We had a very successful professional development half-day last week, I guess that would be, right? Teachers worked collaboratively either on our new reading program or on math interventions. Unified arts teachers worked on programmatic articulation across the vertical articulation as well as end-of-year experiences. And of course, as the kids mentioned, we went for the holiday concert, a wonderful tradition up at the Gilbert School. Operationally, Tom Dillon is now officially on board with us as a very little part-time position, not on board really, he's working as a consultant, but I consider him our Director of School Safety and Security, albeit part-time. We are working on a capital plan that we'll bring to the Finance Committee meeting this month. And we are getting ready the budget that we'll be bringing to you on February 4th based on the priorities that we established in our workshops and the information that we worked on at the last workshop. Hopefully the Budget 101 workshop was a good start for everyone in terms of sort of getting your feet wet and beginning to think about it. We've recently just put out our third newsletter. A few of us attended, Alice and myself and Kurt, the board member training, and I don't know what you thought, but I actually thought it was,
Yeah, it was good.
interesting.
Yeah.
The presenter was great, so it was well worth it.
It was his 50th, is it, to Winston?
I think so. It was very ceremonious for him. He's quite attached to us. He said he often refers to us in his workshops that he does. I've been working on cultivating a relationship with Northwestern Connecticut Community College. I met with the president, must be last week or even the week before at this point, I'm not sure. And either later this week or next week, it's all blending together. I'm meeting with the person who runs the early childhood program in hopes that we can get people who are in that program who either have open time in their course schedule to be substitutes or perhaps as they're finishing their two-year degree to come in and be paraprofessionals, internships, anything we can do to, you know, grow our ability to recruit and retain good staff. I've created a few opportunities to make sure that I'm being a good listener and developing relationships with the staff. We had a social this afternoon, just a drop-in sort of agendaless opportunity to meet and greet with staff again. I've also instituted just weekly, every week from 3 to 4, I'll be in my office available for parents, staff, students, community members, anybody, but every Monday religiously, 3 to 4, if school is open, I should say. I will be there so that if someone says, you know, I really want to ask a question and I didn't think to make an appointment, 3 to 4 on Monday, I'm just there. And then also I'm going to be going to each of the 3 schools where we have staff, Pearson, Hinsdale, and Gilbert. And I've blocked off a couple of hours on 3 different occasions, one at each school, with sort of a series of questions. What are we working on? What do we want to get better at? What do we do really well? What are you proud of? How can I help? And I'm just going to sort of plop myself in a central location in hopes that people will come in and chat. So I'm working on that aspect. And I've also invited the Board of Selectmen members, much like I did this board, and said, come chat. So I've had the opportunity to meet with 2 Board of Selectmen members so far, and I think I have 2 more coming later this week. And I had already met with a couple of others, one being the mayor and one being Linda Grappo, who participated in our contract negotiations. So I'm pleased that I'm getting to know people on that board as well. So there
That's
you
great.
have it.
That's great. Just so everybody knows, the superintendent's located on the 3rd floor of Pearson, way up at the top.
Get your exercise when you visit.
Thank you for that, Julie, and the availability you're opening yourself to allow the community to meet you. And Monday, just so we all know, there's no school, and that's actually this coming Monday, right?
Yes.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions for Dr. Luby? Okay. Very good. Okay. Item D, committee reports. Curriculum committee, anything to let the community know about the committee? Renee?
Well, we started to develop kind of a plan for what we would have each month on the agenda. So myself and Dr. Luby met to kind of work on that a little bit. And so I guess iReady's going to be on the next one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good. That's about it.
The updates, okay, very good. Finance, that would be me. As Julie had mentioned, we had that workshop, and a lot of the terms are in this process. Learning the vocabulary is pretty critical. ECS, what does MBR mean? What is town support about, and how does that affect us? There is a schedule here for the budget development, and I think we should let the community know what the budget workshops are going forward, so we can invite people into the budgetary process. We also took a look at expenditures, capital planning, impact of inflation on the budgetary matters going forward, grants that were 2-year grants, 1-year grants, what is the commissioner networks, what's the history of the alliance, and it's a lot to learn, and it's a process. It'll take a couple of years to figure out, so a couple of iterations of going through the process itself and knowing the calendar, and sometimes we get confused about the calendar. It's like, well, when did we do that last? So that does happen, because it's an interesting phase of process. But we'll continue with this learning curve, as you guys had expressed interest to learn more about that process, so you can ask those questions that need to be asked. So we'll continue to do that in our budget and finance committees, okay? School policy and bylaw?
Nothing new to report. Julie and I are going to meet in our quest to continue to wade through the rest of the policy.
Okay.
Julie emailed us too, so we all have a copy of what's going on with Title IX.
Yep. Okay, very good. Ad hoc,
I think you summed that up earlier perfectly, Nora.
okay. Item E, liaison reports, the Gilbert School Corp. Jonathan, Renee?
So at the last meeting in December, we formally accepted the resignations of Jared Fritsch and Shane Centrella. And we also accepted the resignation of a CTE educator, Buckley Morgan, who will be retiring and effective at this summer in June. Also, for ASOs, policies 5142.4 and 5142.41 passed, which were significant for the hiring process of an ASO. And it was was reported last meeting that 3 applicants were received, but the number could possibly be different, and an updated report is coming very soon. Holly informed me actually earlier today that interviews are scheduled at the end of the month.
Okay, thank you, Jonathan.
Also, in addition to that, they did a presentation, a pretty in-depth presentation on PSAT, SAT, and SBAC scores and how the students up there were doing on those as well.
We received a copy of that from you as well, as an attachment?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, very good. Julie, on the matter of the policy, and I think Holly spoke about this, that Gilbert needed a policy for an ASO, and Jonathan, you spoke to 2. We would need a policy for an ASO, or would we have to go through that process?
So if we have an ASO, yes, I think we would want policy, and we may need an MOU with the town as well. We wouldn't for SSO.
Okay. Policy process and MOU check-in. Okay, very good. All right, item F, correspondence to the board. Is there any? I didn't see any in the packet. Okay, moving on to item 7, information items. Item A, safety and security officer options, and this is where Tom Dillon steps into place, right? And he couldn't be here tonight. He's not feeling very well, but we do have him on a Google Meet.
Yes, he's going to join us. If you make a motion to go into executive
Right.
session, I will Zoom him in for you to talk through the options that the board has been discussing.
Just so the community knows that we go into executive session when it deals with school security, because the public can't know certain things. That is very important to keep in an executive session. So do I have a motion to go into executive session at 7:30 to invite Julie Luby to meet with Tom Dillon?
Can we invite everybody, the team here, or do we just invite Julie?
The
Talking about
team,
the principals.
The
It's-
principals?
we
and-
can,
Um,
but it's our,
So really, the only people that should be invited into executive session are people whose opinion is going to be sought and needed for your decision. So as long as you're going to ask for their input, then it would be appropriate.
Okay,
They just
great.
can't come and like observe. They have to participate. if
I
they
would
come.
like, the opinion of,
both principals? Okay.
and Nancy too, if that's her financial opinion on the matter.
We can do that.
Okay.
The 2 principals and Nancy and Julie Luby. Okay. Do I have a motion for that?
I'll make that motion.
Tori?
Second.
Oh, Sandra.
Sandra seconds, and this is at 7:31? Okay, just so the public knows, we come back, okay?
At some point.
Well, we're gonna go to the Blue Room. here, okay. We're all here? Okay.
I'll make
do we
a
have
motion to exit executive session
At 7:52?
at 7:52.
Thank you, Tori. Second?
I'll second, Renee.
Renee, all in favor of getting out of executive session? 6-0. Thank you, everyone. Okay, item B, enrollment reports.
Okay, that's me. You all may recall that last month at our meeting, I tried to seek your input. We had, I think, 3 different pieces of paper that contain the information that is now condensed into one. Hopefully, this reflects all of your wishes in terms of keeping the level of detail, but just bringing it together, literally as well as sort of metaphorically. So this shows you opening of school enrollment as well as current enrollment. Current enrollment actually reflecting January 1st. It's always the first of the month, and I can reflect that on here. The other enrollment column is not part of the change, which is why it's a little bit grayed out. But that's just to show you other students for whom we have fiscal responsibility, but are not attending Hinsdale or Pearson. So either secondary special education students, or students at AgriScience, or students in outplacements.
So that's the 94?
Yes.
That's what I'm looking at, okay.
So when you say +2, -2, the 94 is not impacted by that +2, -2?
The,
The +2?
right.
Okay,
I'm not showing movement in that number.
got you. Movement is others, other than the other.
Yes.
Okay.
It's the kids who come every day to Hinsdale and Pearson.
Got you.
So,
Okay.
modest change overall in Hinsdale and Pearson, mathematically, conveniently, exactly net 0. And our Gilbert enrollment is up 6 students. And then you can see, we had one piece of paper that showed you the grade level enrollment in the K-6, and a different piece of paper that showed you the 7-12. They're now just all in one place.
And the 17 for Gilbert is not our students, right? Those are the,
Right, those are 3 Heartland students and 14 international students, I believe. And what makes that number important is that when Gilbert does their budget and has a grand total of what it's gonna cost to run Gilbert School next year, we take the Winchester enrollment plus their other enrollment. So if we were doing it today with these numbers, it would be 450. Well, I was looking at the opening of school, sorry, 456. But we take the total number of our kids and other kids, divide their total budget by that number, gets a per pupil, and then multiply the piece of it that was ours by that number. So the bigger that other enrollment number is at budget time, the better for us, because that takes a bigger piece of it. So.
Okay.
That's really the only relevance of that number that I can think of. I mean, I guess if that number got huge, it would be interesting to think about how it changes the program that they're delivering, but I think at current enrollment, they've got plenty of room for more kids, so.
You just mentioned 3 Heartland kids?
Yes.
Okay. All right, very good, thank you. Any questions for enrollment? Okay, attendance?
So our average daily attendance is not significantly different than it was last month. And our chronic absenteeism is at least not rising since last month. And we are doing all the things trying to bring that number down. The school teams are making calls, sending letters, meeting with families, sending social workers to the houses, really trying to bring that down.
Okay. Can you tell us, to give us a sense of how many home visits we make per month?
I can find that out for you and
Just
let you know.
curious,
Sure.
See what kind of pace we're at. Okay. Any other questions about attendance? One of the things I was hoping maybe we can take a look at too is attendance this year compared to last year. I think we talked about that sort of comparison. Maybe some sort of graphic, if you will, to just see how we're doing trend over time, year to year.
Do you get a sense of why students are chronically absent? Like, what's the biggest reason for that?
You know, I've been asking that question as well, and I don't know that there's like one clear answer. I do think that there is some sense of if I'm not happy with how something went, I'll keep my child home until I feel like it's resolved. I think, and I don't know if principals, if you'd agree with this, but I feel like since COVID, there's a little bit different attitude about the critical nature of attendance.
Okay.
Before that, it was very much like kids belong in school every day, and now it's a little bit more like, I'm gonna keep my kids home. I'm just not sure I understand what happened yesterday. I'm gonna wait to speak to somebody. I don't know if you guys wanna add to if there's like a pattern you're seeing to why kids are out more.
There's a variety of reasons. There's some families that take vacations off, you know, the same schedule as the typical school vacation time because it's less expensive. There's families that have families overseas that travel if there's a death in the family. So that adds up to a 7 to 10 day, 14-day absence sometimes. And then you only have 4 days leverage to have a sick, you know, have illness throughout the year to have a total of 18 to be chronically absent. But you're gonna be chronically absent, you know, with 10 absences, you're gonna be chronically absent for the first 100 days of school. So even in 1 month, you're absent for 2 days, you're chronically absent. So, in the first month, September, 4 months, 4 days in October, so November. So it doesn't take a lot to have chronic absenteeism, you know. Some kids get sick. There's been a lot of strep, there's been a lot of stomach bug, there's been a lot of pneumonia happening this year. So the illness seems to be extreme as far as the viral diseases and the bacterial infections happening. Sometimes students have anxiety, they need further counseling support. It takes time to figure that out. You know, I have a stomach ache, and then, you know, the somatic symptoms happen. So there's so many different reasons. And often there are peer conflicts that happen where kids just don't necessarily open up or know how to cope and don't tell their parent and just don't want to come to school. Parents are working, you know, sometimes transportation becomes an issue. So there's a variety of reasons why chronic absenteeism happens, but we are trying our hardest to, you know, be supportive and be communicative and to help families understand the importance of school.
Thank you.
You said everything I would say, and I would say the best thing that we do is we meet bi-weekly with our social workers and our teams to look at the individual absences, to see if there are patterns, to reach out to families, to see how we can support. And so it's never far from our purview to say, what can we do to help?
The nurse makes calls every day if we don't hear from the family, so as soon as that first robocall goes out to families, the nurse then will call if we haven't heard from the parent. So they'll get, you know, a follow-up phone call saying, you're aware your child is absent, is there a reason for that? And, you know, take that and then communicating with the nurse, because the nurse has more information oftentimes. So it is a lot about school communication, so those bi-weekly meetings are really important.
Thank you. Okay, item D, personnel report.
We are doing the maternity dance right now at Hinsdale. We have the pregnancy parade. We've got long-term subs coming and going every 10 minutes. And Ms. St. Hilaire is doing a remarkable job of juggling those people coming and going, some sooner than expected. We've got a long-term sub in place now in our kindergarten, Christine Verba, who's an experienced elementary teacher, doing a great job. She actually had been hired to do the second grade maternity leave in April. And thankfully was already sort of on board, and she was gonna be just daily subbing for us in the meantime. And our kindergarten sub fell apart at the last minute, so Christine stepped right into that. So we've got our coverage in place there. So we are a rotating door right now of permanent subs, long-term subs, and just frantically trying to stay 1 foot in front of those. And Renee's doing a great job juggling it. We did onboard our art teacher will be, our art teacher started right after the first, so she'll be on the next report. We had, that's funny, just based on, because we're at the calendar break. The art teacher from Hinsdale left at the end, right before break, and we have a new art teacher that started right after break. She'll be on the next report, with no gap in between, and we got very lucky and hired someone wonderful with experience and just a lovely, calm demeanor and such a nice spirit about kids and art and creativity. I think we really lucked out there as well. And of course, Adrienne at Pearson is doing a phenomenal job. Teachers are singing her praises. The kids are singing her praises. She's working so closely with Barb and just doing a great job.
Great.
So that's all good.
She's known as Miss G, is that what it still is? Miss G? Okay, all right. I encourage you, if you haven't met Miss G yet, to take some time to go meet her. You'll remember. So it's great. She's very engaging, very energetic. Yeah, thank you. Item E, monthly budget summary.
So you've got the summary year-to-date. Nancy has it all well in hand. She's keeping us where we need to be. I was going to try and be quippy and say in the red or the black, but I can't remember which is the right answer. In the black, that's where we want to be, right? Yeah. So she's got her eye on the prize, and we're trending along and where we need to be.
Nancy, it's good to see that the food service is in the black. Yeah, very tight, it's 113.
Yeah, and actually the state just had a conference and with some ideas of some new things to share with the food service managers. And also, there's a grant that we're gonna try and go for, so we'll see what happens with that.
Okay. Last time we talked, well, if I recall, the big driver there were paper napkins and paper supplies for, is that still an issue for?
And food supplies too, because a lot of it is prepared.
Yeah.
Previously, and so the one school is following that route, and then the other school is trying, adding a little bit more personnel time and preparing more fresh fruits and vegetables. So, and we'll see if that makes a difference with participation and also the cost.
Right.
So I'm waiting for the, have a few months under our belt to really get an idea of where we stand.
Okay. Thank you. Anybody have any questions about the budget? Okay, seeing none, we'll move to item 8, action items. A, safety and security personnel. We have a motion to direct Julie to start the hiring process to hire 2 security officers for the Winchester Public Schools.
I'll make that motion.
You have a second?
Second.
Kurt? Okay, all in favor to direct Julie to start hiring 2 security officers for the Winchester Public Schools? That is 6-0. Thank you, everyone. And then item B, school parking lot policy 1000 series. Okay. Sandra?
Well, I talked to Julie about this, and I think we're just going to keep it the way it is. So there needs to be no action on it.
So this is the first read, right?
Yes.
Tonight?
Yep.
Okay. I think it's important that we keep as is. I mean, it is as old as 2004.
Yeah.
And,
But there's all kinds of factors. We don't own the building, the town allows, as Julie and I were talking, allows people, so it's best just to keep it the way it is.
okay. Any other discussion? Okay. We don't need to make a motion, but we'll push it to second read in February.
Okay.
What? Right, just to affirm it, because it's already in first read. Okay? Thank you for that. Give us some breather time with policies. Okay, and then item C, possible appointment of the community member to the Gilbert School Corp. As you saw this morning, we have one applicant for this position. Just so the public knows, the Gilbert School Corp has 4 public positions or 4 public seats, and the appointments come from the Winchester Board of Ed. And if they can't fill out the 4, then we go to the community to fill out the 4. And so we have 1 spot available for the community. It'd been advertised, it was closed this past weekend, and I asked Joanne to attend here tonight. And we have her letter of interest. We also have her resume that you would like to take a look at. I did ask Joanne if she would like to have a discussion about the candidacy, her candidacy. It's falling under a personnel matter. And she said she would not like this conversation or our conversation to be in public, but we could go into executive session as a board to discuss the appointment and the credentials. So I would recommend that we do so at this time, is go into executive session to speak about the credentials. Do I have a motion to do that?
I make a motion to accept her onto the Gilbert Board of Education.
Okay, so I have 2 first motions, okay. I'll work with Renee,
I'll second.
okay.
You second Reneda's?
Yes.
Okay, Kurt. All right, and then we can take a look at this first motion, we can vote on it, and then to go to Tori's motion, which would be to appoint.
He
Right.
needs a second though, right?
That needs a second. Okay, so let's address the first motion. Do I have persons in favor for executive session to discuss the candidacy?
Yes, and she's gonna
Oh.
come in and speak to us, right?
She will not.
Oh, no, it's just.
It's just us.
Okay,
Because the candidate does not wish to have the conversation in public about her credentials.
got it.
Okay?
Okay.
All right. So all in favor of executive session at 8:09 to discuss the candidate's qualifications? Okay, so that's 6-0. All right, so we're going to go there at 8:09. Once again, we'll be right back.
No problem, I'm just writing this down.
Okay, do I have a motion to come out of executive session at 8:14?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Sandra, Tori? Yep. All in favor to come out? 6-0, okay. Do I have a motion to accept Joanne Galinsky to serve as a community member until November 2025?
I make a motion.
Okay, it's Renee.
I make a motion.
Do I have a second on that?
Second.
Okay, Kurt? All in favor? 6-0, congratulations.
Welcome.
Thank you.
There's a meeting tomorrow night.
Tomorrow.
6:30.
Yeah, I think you can be sworn in though, right?
Yeah.
Sworn in.
Sign at town hall.
Yeah,
You'll
she
be
will.
sworn in at the meeting?
Yeah.
You'll be sworn in and sign at town hall.
I'll let Holly know to contact you and to set you up with their whole system, okay? All right, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, so item D, superintendent's evaluation process. Oh, boy, okay, executive session anticipated.
Inefficient of us tonight, I know.
I feel like I'm at mass, and I'm not even Catholic. Got nothing to do.
So are we looking for a motion?
Do you have that page in your packet? I ran out of pages.
I do not.
We don't have the,
No.
I have copies for you of
yep. All right, so we do need to go into executive session for the superintendent's evaluation process, right? Do we have a motion at 8:15 inviting Julie?
I will make a motion to go into executive session and invite Julie.
Thank you,
At
Renee. Do we have a second?
Second it.
Sandra will second it.
All in favor?
All in favor? Executive session for the superintendent's evaluation, 6-0.
I was worried about you for a second.
Tell me what to do. It's in my directions.
You want me to show you quick? Sure. So you
In reverse order, right?
ahead. Okay, do I have a motion to come out of executive session 8:35 PM?
Make that motion.
Tori, second?
Second?
Jonathan, thank you. All in favor? Okay, so now we're out of executive section. Thank you, 6-0. Okay. So, at this point, Julie is going to review for us the goals that we've adopted as a district moving forward.
So I'm happy to share with us that we have goals this year that are very aligned. We have school and district goals to improve the school climate, improve student attendance, and increase student growth and achievement. My goals as superintendent are to support those three goals at the school level, and then increase school safety, communicate with and engage the full community, and develop and promote a budget that meets the district's needs while being respectful of the community's ability to pay. And then the Board of Education has set goals, the first of which is to support inclusively all of my goals, and then to encourage and assess student learning and performance, engage the community, and complete the policy review and update process.
Okay, thank you, Julie. Okay, we had met to discuss the superintendent's evaluation process. Do I have a motion to adopt the process as presented?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Sandra. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, Kurt, any further discussion? Okay, all in favor of the evaluative tool? Thank you. Okay, 6-0, great. Okay, public comment, item 9. Okay, as you know, our policy allows for public comment, 11:20. We welcome you in our business meeting, 2 opportunities. This is the second in the evening. We welcome and encourage public participation as a valued member of our community. We appreciate adhering to the following. Complete the requested information in the sign-on sheet. We need your name, we need your address and email. State your name and address when called to speak. You will be allotted 3 minutes to share your comments. Please be advised, it's not the practice of the Board of Education to engage in dialogue regarding commentary. Superintendent will be directed by the chairperson to prepare appropriate response. We appreciate your thoughtful commentary. Is anybody wishing to speak?
There are seeing as none.
Anybody wishing to speak? There might be somebody running up the stairs. Anybody wishing to speak? Okay, seeing none. Any future item agendas for next month? Item 10.
So the paid sick, that legislation just changed. And I just saw that email from Cabe about Ellington's Board of Ed. Because it could be contradictory to what our policy is.
It is.
So it's something that could hamper our school district. So maybe see how it doesn't align and whether, kind of look more into that aspect of it.
Put it on the agenda for a discussion.
Yeah.
What was it, Kurt?
Paid sick leave, they took out some, basically you don't have to give a reason or proof of why you're out. Nor do you have, you could.
Some
within a-
districts, right, some districts require in their contract a doctor's note if you're absent for so many days. But
And also, like, you can't take, some districts, I believe it might be ours, you can't take the day before or the day after a vacation off, but this allows
With
it.
a sick leave.
Yeah, put as a sick day.
So this is statewide legislation, and one of the things the Education Department has said was, whoops, it wasn't on our radar because it's not education legislation, but it's having great impact. One of the biggest issues about it is that it allows people, and it applies to their first 40 hours of sick leave, not all of their sick leave, but at least the first 40 hours. It allows them to take time off in 1-hour increments with no reason or notice. So, not that I think our teachers who are incredibly professional would do this, but somebody could walk in the morning and say to the principal, I'm going to need to be out from 10 to 11. Now, maybe there are industries where that's a perfectly reasonable plan, but that is
Not in a classroom.
really complicated in our setting.
Yeah.
You know, if
Especially, it's how hard it is to find people, subs.
Substitutes.
even with
At a
notice and
moment's
for a
notice.
full day. The expense to us, well, first of all, we can't even keep a building sub. We don't have one. If you had a building sub, I guess you would stop assigning them as your daily sub and keep them on hand for that. But it could have such nightmarish implications. So I'd be happy to put that on an agenda as an information item. I think what Kurt's referring to is that the Ellington Board of Ed wrote a letter, I don't know who actually wrote it, but it's a letter from the board to the legislature saying, you've got to exempt education from this, and here's the way to do that. So maybe I can bring that letter, I'll put that in your packet as well. If this board's interested in jumping on to supporting that, I think that would be great, because, again, I'm all for treating employees well, but that one really is complicated for us.
Definitely need to explore it. Okay, any other future items? Okay, seeing none. Item 11, adjournment. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
8:41. Thank you, Jonathan. Do I have a second? You want to stay? I don't have a second?
Make a motion.
Okay, Tori, all in favor? 6-0. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for coming out on this cold evening. It is cold. It's 8:42. It's not so.
The second our hands raised, it turned from 8:41 to 8:42.
All right, that works.
You're on it.
Okay. So this is January, so